Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the RotoBaller Radio Waiver Wires series, where we take a look today at some pitchers available on the waiver wire for Week 19 of your fantasy baseball season. The week beginning, Monday, August 15th. Don't forget to win big in 2022 with rotoballer.com's NFL Premium Pass. RotoBaller's Premium Draft Kit includes 15 exclusive tools, including the new Team Sync platform. Import your fantasy teams, sync your league settings, and get custom advice. Get customized rankings, projections, and cheat sheets for all formats. For a limited time, get your NFL Premium Pass for 50% off and an additional 10% if you use my promo code ACES. Visit rotoballer.com and start rotoballing like a boss. All right, everybody? And don't forget, RotoBaller has you covered for the rest of this baseball season or whatever else you're interested in MMA, PGA, NBA, sports betting, you name it, DFS or season long, rotoballer.com, the place to be. Don't forget, subscribe, like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel. Hopefully you've already watched the hitter waiver wire video for Week 19. Download the app, get all the great RotoBaller content right there on the RotoBaller app as well. All right, so Week 19, Monday, August 15th. Full disclosure, recording on Saturday, the 13th of August, before the games for the day start. So some things may change a little bit between here and there. Roster percentages are used from Yahoo. Try to keep it at or below 40%, although there'll be a few exceptions in today's video. So make sure you check all of that out. All right. Couple of starters, couple of relief pitchers here to talk about. Let's start with the starting pitching. And my top ad, if he's somehow available, is Edward Cabrera of the Miami Marlins. Now, I was surprised. I didn't think I'd be talking about him today, but he was only 45%, so a little bit higher than I expected to be. It's still lower, actually, than I expected it, and a little bit higher, I should say, than the 40% I try to keep things at. I thought for sure Cabrera would be in that 60-70% rostership. He's not, so I'm mentioning him. 14 strikeouts in his last 10 2/3 innings. It's 11.8 Ks per 9. Has not given up an earned run in those last 10 2/3. Whip is at 0.75. On the season now, he's got 29 strikeouts and 26 1/3 innings pitched. ERA of 2.05 and an expected ERA of 3.27. The whip is minuscule at 1.03, and the batting average against is flat out dominant at 1.44. Next start is August 16th against San Diego. Guys, some of you are going to put it in the comments, I get it. Oh, he's already rostered in my league. Okay, good. That means you're in a solid league. But please check, because if he's not rostered, roster him immediately and get him in your lineup for the 16th against the Padres. A couple of other starters to mention. Justin Steele continues to be underappreciated of the Chicago Cubs. And I know they limited his innings every week and every start, but it hasn't mattered to his strikeout numbers. He's only 20% rostered. 19 strikeouts in his last 10 2/3 innings. 16 Ks per 9 with an ERA of 1.69 over those 10 2/3. On the season now, he's got 106 strikeouts and 101 2/3 innings. It's about 9.4 Ks per 9 innings. His ERA is 3.63. His expected ERA is 3.65. Both of those numbers play. Batting average against the sits at 2.52. Now, on August 10th, he faced the Washington Nationals and kind of dominated them. 206 innings, 9 strikeouts. His next start is once again August 16th at the Washington Nationals. I will happily roll Justin Steele, get 5 or 6 innings, and get 8 to 10 strikeouts is my prediction out of Justin Steele in that matchup. So get Justin Steele on your roster. And finally, my third starting pitcher to be mindful of is Daniel Lynch of the Kansas City Royals. Only 4% rostered. And you're saying, Daniel Lynch. Well, his last start caught my eye. Why? Because it was August 12th against the Dodgers. And he kind of handled them pretty easily. 5 innings, 3 strikeouts, no earned runs. You do that against the Dodgers, it catches your eye. In his last 16 1/3 innings, Daniel Lynch has 16 strikeouts, 8.8 Ks per 9, with an ERA of 2.20 and a whip of 1.16. His last 3 starts have been solid, as evident by that ERA. He's got 89 strikeouts on the season in 87 2/3 innings. 9.14 Ks per 9. I'll take a K per inning. ERA on the year is 4.52. Expected ERA a little bit lower at 4.35. Next start is August 17th against the I almost said Minnesota Vikings, against the Minnesota Twins. A streamable matchup against the Twins, in my opinion. And he has pitched, like I said, super well of late, highlighted by those 5 shutout innings against the Dodgers. Now, let's talk relievers a little bit. Straight up, you need saves. Take a look at Rowan Wick of the Chicago Cubs. 29% rostered. Okay, he's striking out about 23% of the batters he faces with an ERA under 4 at 3.94. 7 saves on the season, but he's been very good this past week with 3 saves over the last 7 days. So Rowan Wick, if you're just chasing saves, Rowan Wick is the number 1 guy. Now, in Boston, Tanner Houck went on the IL. So now what happens going forward with save opportunities? Well, you got 2 guys there. You got Garrett Whitlock, who's a higher roster, 53%. So he might not be available in your league, but John Schreiber's only at 29%. And John Schreiber, personally, is completely outperforming Whitlock. Okay, Garrett Whitlock is striking out 25% of the batters he faces with an ERA of 3.03. He's got 3 saves on the season. Schreiber striking out over 30% of the batters he faces with an ERA of 1.80, 4 saves. If I had Houck, or even if I didn't have Houck, and I'm looking for relief pitcher opportunities, I will take Schreiber at that 29% rostership over Whitlock. Chance for saves, better K rate, lower ERA, checks all the boxes. Sign me up for John Schreiber. Now, my final relief pitcher concern, okay, and I don't know if it's going to help you, but be mindful of it, is we might be seeing Aroldis Chapman reclaim the closer role for the New York Yankees. Clay Holmes blew another save Friday night against the Red Sox. Clay Holmes, and you know this if he's on your team, has been terrible of late. Okay, terrific season. Came out of nowhere. His ERA is still 2.39. But over his last 9 2/3 innings, his ERA has climbed from 0.46 to 2.39. Over his last 9 2/3 innings, his ERA is 10.24. Over his last 4 innings, his ERA is 15.75 with multiple blown saves for Clay Holmes. We know the Yankees aren't playing well. This isn't me picking on the Yankees. Clay Holmes has not been great. Now, he's 83% roster. Now, this was the part that shocked me, okay? So he might not be there. Aroldis Chapman got hurt, lost his closer job, okay? Wasn't pitching great. Was relegated to middle relief. Yet Aroldis Chapman still sits at 78% rostered, okay? Do a double check. You never know if Aroldis Chapman is in your league is one of the rare leagues where Aroldis Chapman is somehow still available. He has not given up an earned run in his last 5 outings. He has 4 strikeouts in his last 5 outings. And if the Yankees decide to move Clay Holmes into some lower leverage situations, okay, Aroldis Chapman will be next in line. And I'll say this. If you were one of the 78% that held on to Aroldis Chapman and he's sitting on your bench, maybe it's now the time for next week to get him in your lineup. Okay? In case, like I said, Holmes goes to a low leverage situation. They give him a few days off, and Chapman's able to pick up a few saves for you. So just be mindful of the situation in the Yankees bullpen. All right, everybody. Give me a follow on Twitter at @Aniano Fantasy. Head over to rotoballer.com. Sign up for that premium pass now. 50% off, then an additional 10% with the promo code ACES. Like and subscribe right here to the RotoBaller YouTube channel and download the app as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Good luck this weekend, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one, folks.